So this is when we start really getting to know the other characters, I think, of the show.
Mm-hmm. And she's also talking about who's in the bad place, which is kind of a continued joke throughout the series.
So it continues to show just how hard it is to get to the good place, because all these famous people like Mozart, they're all in the bad place.
Interestingly, though, I think Michael is just making this up. He says every U.S. president except Lincoln, implying, I guess, that he knows who's in the bad place. But we later find out he doesn't really seem to know, or at least if he does know, he doesn't know like the full extent of like humanity, because he doesn't know that everyone is in the bad place. So clearly he should know that every U.S. president. So either he's just lying to make it more believable, or he's just making it up.
Yeah, and this is like a big spoiler for the future, but I think technically Lincoln is also in the bad place.
Yes, because everyone's in the bad place for the last 521 years since Columbus discovered America.
So they're Michael and Eleanor are walking through this like very beautiful, lush garden.
Really beautiful. In LA, the Huntington Gardens.
It was filmed in the Huntington Gardens?
Yes. I want to go there, but apparently it's really hard to get in, and also it's on fire right now.
I think you were there before when you were much, much younger.
Was I? You have to stop taking me to those places when I'm too young to appreciate them.
I think you were in a stroller. Florence Nightingale also didn't make it.
Really, only the cream of the crop made it.
But somehow Eleanor's like, oh, but of course I made it. So Michael says most people don't make it there. And I would imagine if you're Tahani, who we haven't met yet, but she'd be like, of course I'm in.
Yes, she just accepts it, which we see in season 2. But Eleanor is a little bit more like questioning.
So they haven't revealed yet the secret, the secret behind Eleanor, but I think we're getting close.
Oh, yes. And then this is where he starts giving, like, context, but also kind of torturing her, which is he just basically says, like, you're like this lawyer who saved all these innocent people and did all this stuff. And then at this point, she realizes she's definitely not supposed to be here because on Earth, she was not a lawyer.
Yeah, so the big spoiler from episode 1 is that Eleanor isn't who Michael thinks she is.
And she's a different Eleanor Shellstrop.
There were 2 Eleanor Shellstrops.
Supposedly.
And she lived this like terrible life, which we'll learn more later. But she thinks that she was like this amazing lawyer. She helped all these people. She only like did all these wonderful things. And that's the other thing about the show that made me think of like Mike Shore. Is like, and our generation especially, is like everyone was like told we were special.
Say which generation you are.
Like Gen X, late or early millennial. Is it early or late? Between Gen X and millennial.
Early, I think. This is interesting to me because my generation is usually told we all suck and we're all terrible and the world is going to die and we're not getting into college.
Yeah.
Especially after COVID.
So you wouldn't get this type of treatment. Your generation.
No, and I'm glad. I think it made us stronger as individuals.
And so he introduces Eleanor to her new home.
Which I think is kind of one of the iconic symbols of the Good Place, which is this very, like, brightly colored, like, kind of child-looking house, which is, like, it's all primary colors, and it has these, like, modern geometric shapes.
It looks like a 5-year-old built it out of Lego.
Yes, and it's not real. Like, they didn't build that. You can see the green screen outline around her hair.
If you look really closely. Yeah. So what's the thinking behind it? It's like supposed to be some sort of Icelandic architecture. And the real So
the supposed real Eleanor Shellstrop would love a house like this for some reason, but it's also because for this Eleanor, she thinks it's really ugly and it's like torture for her.
Yeah, so Eleanor and us as the audience, we're starting to realize not all is what it seems, right? And then you immediately see that right next to her home
is Tahani's gorgeous mansion, which is very tall, and that's what Eleanor wants to live in, but she can't have it, which is more torture for her.
And so she has this very modest home, this kind of small. I mean, it looks cute, but it's small.
I mean, me personally, I would want a small home because you don't have to clean it.
Well, I don't think in The Good Place you have to clean.
Yeah, but still, it's like too much work. I like very small spaces. Yeah, then there's this great shot of like Tahani's mansion, which I don't know if that's a real place or not, but I think a lot of it is Photoshop.
I think it is Photoshop, but I want to say that in one of the podcasts, Jamil,
Jamil. She said that it was at least
some of it was filmed in a real home that was like a $50 million home or something.
Yes. Well, the inside, not the outside.
Oh, I see. The outside looks like a colonial British palace.
Yeah, but like on steroids.
Or like Louis the 14th's
Versailles. Yeah, we learned about that in history.
And they're literally like side by side. Like her home is like within steps of this gigantic home.
Yes. I don't know if it's just the monitor we're watching this on, but the trees are very obviously green screened and
Well, the trees are like 200 feet tall.
that's true.
It's like taller
also.
than
You're right.
this 5-story home.
I think they said on the podcast they filmed this obviously in LA because it's Hollywood, and in LA there's lots of palm trees and not like these nice like eastern trees, like America East, not like East. So they had to change them out in Photoshop.
So the other thing I wanted to ask is like, she's in the good place. And obviously, like, she's having second thoughts about it. But you would think that in the afterlife or in the good place, there's no sense of envy. And yet, immediately, they're like...
They're all envious of each other. Because it's torture. Yeah, you're right. The Icelandic primitive style.
That's the architecture of Eleanor's home, which she hates. And I think I also heard that... I think it might have been Kristen Bell that said that everything in this home was meant to like seem very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because look at this, like that chair is like has a funnel at the bottom of it, and this is like an ugly plank of wood. It's just not very welcoming. Oh yes, and the clowns. There's just clown paintings everywhere because supposedly the real Eleanor just loves clowns so much. She just wants their paintings, and it's very creepy.
Yeah, so there's like she's surrounded by like terrifying clowns.
Yes. My favorite clowns are the ones on her bedroom doors that close with the music. It's like what it reminds me of is there's another show I used to like, I still like, called Series of Unfortunate Events, and in that show there's also a lot of clowns at one point, and one of the clowns on her bedroom doors looks exactly like the clown from A Series of Unfortunate Events, and I think that's kind of cool because they're both this kind of creepy like cheerful clown.
Where do you think they got the models for these clowns?
I think they just painted them. I think Gabe Perello just painted them. I'm joking. I don't know where they got them.
And do Good Place homes have bathrooms?
Yes.
Okay, and so this is important too because she's here. She clearly is uncomfortable. She clearly doesn't like this home.
Yes.
But she's trying to play along with the lie. So she's like, oh, look at all these clowns. I do love clowns.
Because we, the audience, still don't really know she's not supposed to be there, but it's starting to get more suspicious.
This is finally now when you're like, okay, the show is kind of going somewhere.
And what is this even supposed to be like? What are you supposed to do with that?
There's like random pieces of furniture that just look uncomfortable and make no sense. And then the ledge.
And then there's a TV screen, which is nice.
Okay.
So this is important. They show her memories from her life, which are not her life. But the important thing is it's like from her eyes seeing, so you can't actually see the real Eleanor Shellstrop in the footage. Yeah,
so in order to maintain this lie, he's showing her footage from supposedly her life, but it's actually from the other Eleanor Shellstrop.
Yeah.
But
so if like the real supposed Eleanor Shellstrop like looked in the mirror or something, then she would be cooked because it wouldn't be her. But otherwise, you don't know what she looks like.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I was like, wouldn't she just like see her own reflection?
Yeah, but I think the real Eleanor Shellstrop is so like unvain. She just doesn't look at her reflection.
I see. And so you see her saving kids in the Ukraine.
All the Ukraine stuff hadn't even happened yet.
Ironic.
Oh yes, and then Chidi. We finally meet Chidi, her soulmate, supposedly.
Played by
William Jackson Harper.
So,
did you know William Jackson Harper, his girlfriend is Alice from Agatha All Along?
No.
Yes, that's why she's in all the videos. I was like, who is this? What is Alice doing here? And then they're the ones who are dating. She's the one who got the loafers and hated them.
Another show that you watched. Why is Chidi here?
Because
he just shows up at her house.
No, because remember when he gets to Good Place, Michael shows him his apartment and he's like, in a few hours your soulmate will get here, just come to the little house that looks like a smiley face. Her name is Eleanor.
I see.
So that's like his point of view.
So Chidi and Eleanor are soulmates.
Yes. So he's excited because all his life on Earth he wished for a soulmate, and now he finally has one. So that's why he's so excited.
And so his name is Chidi Anaganye.
And
And
a
she-
Gonye.
and she can't pronounce his last name.
She just doesn't remember because she doesn't care. It's not like from a like racist perspective.
No.
It's just she does not care about anyone besides herself, and she doesn't know anyone's name.
And so they just both kind of like accept it. Oh yeah, we're soulmates.
Yeah, they're just
Okay,
like
let's
chill
do
with
it.
it.
Uh-huh.
But he actually thinks he belongs there.
Right. He's not like Eleanor.
Mm-hmm.
So one important thing about Michael
Mm-hmm.
that they said on the show is that they can never film him alone.
Yeah.
So he has to like anytime Michael is on screen, Ted Danson is on screen, he has to be with one of the four humans.
Yes, and he can't really be with Janet because, well, he kind of can, but he kind of can't. It's confusing.
So then Michael leaves, and then Chidi and
They get introduced as you do when you like meet someone new.
I mean, this is kind of like, isn't this show an advocate for just arranged marriages?
No, why?
Because it just makes it so much easier.
Okay, but that's like the system, but then soulmates aren't real. We just made it up. So it's against arranged marriages.
Well, yes, but then they end up falling in love. And
Okay, but
becoming...
like, remember all the other reboots where they were paired with people they hated? Remember Esmeralda and the Ravens?
Uh-huh.
So clearly not.
Oh, okay. It just makes it so much easier. They're like, you guys are soulmates. Okay.
That's true. But they it's not random. Like, if it's an arranged marriage, it'd be random.
I see.
You can see in her eyes she's, like, not paying attention at all.
He's trying to tell her about his life, and
Mm-hmm.
she's just... But then, I mean, honestly, I would be a little overwhelmed, too, if I were
Yeah.
her.
I mean, later he does forget her name because he's overwhelmed, so I
Uh-huh.
guess they both get overwhelmed at some points.
But it's clear that he's been here for at least a little bit longer than she has.
You say it's clear, but you didn't know that until I told you.
This is true. The other thing that they say here is that he apparently is speaking to her in French.
Yes, but it just gets, like, C-3PO'd into, like, what she understands, which is English, and that's what the audience understands.
So everyone just speaks their own native language.
Mm-hmm.
So we still don't quite know Eleanor's big secret here yet, but one thing, the clues start adding up.
Yes.
And one thing is he is like lived this global childhood. He lived all these different countries. And then he's like, well, tell me about you. And she's like, well, I was born in Arizona, in Phoenix. I went to school in Tempe, and then I went back to Phoenix. And that's like her life.
She doesn't have anything impressive.
So does he hear her in French this whole time?
Well, I think he's pretty good at English,
Uh-huh.
but it gets confusing in season 3 and it doesn't really make sense. I think they just put that here because it was the pilot and they didn't know where they were going yet.
And then later on, we discovered that they can't swear. They can't use profanity.
Because there's a filter. Apparently, like, all the Good Place people don't like swearing.
Which is very convenient because, as you said in the earlier episode, this is an NBC show and it's family friendly.
Yes.
So they can't have swearing on television.
So, like, in other shows, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they have to have, like, a bleep and you have to blur their mouth. But in this show, it gets away with it much more easily, which is just saying a different word that sounds kind of similar.
Yeah. So, and Eleanor in her mortal life loved to swear, use profanity all the time.
That's the other thing. Like, in The Good Place, like, it's this very, like, set idea, which I think is kind of criticizing what a lot of people think about heaven, because everyone there is, like, very, like, kind of, like, decent and, like, clean and, like, they don't swear, and there's no, like, alt people or, like, emo people or, like, punk rock people. And then the creator said it was, like, intentional.
Yeah, that was the other thing about the show is like The Good Place is clearly supposed to be like this kind of very upper class American, almost white, like suburb.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of room for alternative types of lifestyles in that way. Like at least in like the alt way.
Yeah, it's like that movie, Greener Grass, which Darcy Carden was also in.
And then, so the other thing I wanted to know was so Eleanor, she's always like forking shirt balls, but if your native language is Chinese or French or German or Japanese, how is that translated?
Oh, you're saying this is like the Extraordinary Attorney Young thing, where they have to figure out how to I don't know. I really don't.
I guess we could do a deeper dive later because in Netflix they do have subtitles.
I mean, we can like just check. We can just change it. We have to wait till she starts swearing.
Yeah.
So he has this like very sweet speech, which he definitely spent a lot of time practicing because one of the fundamental aspects of his character is he always thinks there's like a right way to do things and an answer. So having a soulmate is like exactly what he's wanted. But then there's like a fork thrown in because she's not his soulmate.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy too. Like, I could see it from his point of view, especially now that I know Chidi. But like, he just met her like a minute ago,
Yes.
and he's like literally holding her hands
Uh-huh.
and saying like, expressing like, I don't know if he's expressing love, but he's like has this very dramatic speech
Yes.
for her.
But he thinks they're soulmates.
Uh-huh. So one thing we learned about Chidi is that he's a philosopher professor,
Yes.
a professor of philosophy
And ethics.
and ethics, and so
he's super excited,
Uh-huh.
and then she's gonna ruin it.
he's like, oh, I can't wait, I'm so excited to like learn about the universe with you, you're my soulmate. And then her response is, I'm not really supposed to be here.
Yes. So, but before she says that, she has to like trap him. So she's like, make sure you promise to me, like, no matter what, they're gonna help me. And then after that, she tells him. And then, he, it's revealed later, he's a follower of like Immanuel Kant.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things like Kant believes in is you can't break a promise ever because it's like wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't really care about her at first, but he's just following his own moral code, which is that he has to help her.
So the thing we learned about Chidi later is that he has a really hard time making decisions.
He has a, yeah.
And he's constantly just like ambivalent or like torn, like doesn't know what to do. But immediately he meets Eleanor and she puts him in this bind.
Yes.
Where she like makes him promise to like hold this lie, and he doesn't know what to do about it.
The Ukraine. I think, because she says the Ukraine, which isn't what it is, right? But I think she thinks it's like the UK. Because she said it in the same way you would say UK, but it's the Ukraine.
Yeah, there was some point, I forget exactly in history, where everyone said the Ukraine and then it's just switched to Ukraine.
Oh, maybe it's that.
But
maybe it was 2016 history.
It probably was around that time. I can't remember exactly.
I don't remember anything about 2016.
So then after his very dramatic and overwhelming speech to her,
She drops the first plot twist of many plot twists.
And she tells him, I'm not supposed to be here. So my question to you though is, like, she just got here, just met Chidi. Like, why would she reveal this huge like lie to this person she just met and just tell him that?
Well, she's like kind of on her own. She needs someone to help her. And she's like, a soulmate, he promised to help me. He's supposed to be a really good person, so that's kind of my perfect person.
So at this point you think she doesn't know how to do it by herself, and so she needs help.
Yeah, because she's like pretty overwhelmed, I think. And in that scenario, you wouldn't want to be like alone.
So she drops this huge like
and he's just like so shocked.
That was like the last thing he had imagined she would say.
Yes. Then we have more nice, pretty shots.
Back to the Huntington Gardens.
Oh yeah, there's a ladybug, which is one of the like kind of iconic, not really like characters, but like I think symbols of this particular neighborhood. Because you always see a ladybug whenever something big happens with the neighborhood.
So at this point, is it Michael's plan that Eleanor reveals to Chidi that she's not supposed to be there?
So she was tortured just like in general, and he was tortured by worrying about her.
Now he's processing what she just told him.
Yeah, and he's like trying to find a way out of it and be like, are you sure? Like, are you positive? Oh yes, and then this is the first time she tries to swear, but she can't.
She says, somebody royally forked up.
Because there's the filter.
So in Korean, I think it's just literally just translation is like somebody really made a mistake.
Oh. Well, I guess they just have to get it from context.
How about in Spanish?
Yeah, go to Spanish. I can do Spanish. Don't do Latin. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Someone got something wrong, I think. I don't know what cargo means. So I guess she says Carlo and she's trying to say Cagarla.
Yeah, there's like, it's an added complication when you do it in a different language. So this is, I don't know if that was meant to be, but so now Chidi's trying to process who Eleanor really was. And so he's like, so who are you really if you're not this person that they think you are?
And then this is the first time we really get like some actual backstory about who she is.
And we discover she's very much not the person she was.
She was a bad person. But I think she's bad in like a way that still makes her pretty redeemable, because she's bad in a way like I think a lot of people can relate to. It's not like she like murdered someone. It's just like the like throwing away someone's meal instead of giving it to their house or something like that.
And I don't know if I'm overreading this, but tell me what you think. But like the first thing Chidi says or the first question he asks her is, "What did you do for a living?"
Mm-hmm.
Which, for someone who's an ethics professor and philosophy professor, I feel like someone's occupation shouldn't be what defines them.
Well, I think that was a way for the writers to like get that in because it was like a joke because it's a comedy show. But he does say like he doesn't really have much like beyond being an ethics professor because later on there's a joke where he's like, I wish we met like normal people, like you came to one of my lectures or like we had a philosophy discussion, and she was like, that's how you think normal people meet? So I think he just has like a very limited worldview.
Yeah, I think we realized later on that he didn't actually do that much in his life. Right?
No, because later on they read each other's like about each other's real lives, and he realizes like she actually did a lot more. So even though he lived in all these different places, he spent his time there just like staying inside reading. He didn't really go anywhere or do anything. Oh yeah, and then this is the first time we get like a nice little flashback of Eleanor, like the real Eleanor Shellstrop. She has like a necklace with a cactus on it. Earth. This is like how she would actually dress. And she has like the long hair, which I think is to show it's a flashback.
So she basically worked at a company that sold fraudulent products.
Fake drugs and like medicine to elderly people.
Her job was to like sell fake medicine to old people and take advantage of them. But she says, and I believe her, that she was very good at it.
I'm sure she was, because she's good at lying. That's why she's able to figure out like the game behind the neighborhood, because she's the only one there who thinks like Michael thinks, and thinks like, if I were to lie to all these people, how would I do it?
So it kind of makes me think maybe she should have just like rather than just continuing down that path, what if she just like took a normal sales job? I feel like she would be good at it.
You think all sales is just lying to people?
Well, it's telling people what they want to hear.
Yes, but to be fair, she also joined that company specifically, we later find out, because she likes to be surrounded by bad people.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
But, I mean, there's like a legitimate Eleanor somewhere in there.
But when she's surrounded by people that are better than her, she gets annoyed.
I
see. That's why she chose a company with like pretty bad people in it.
Top salesperson.
Yeah,
5 years
running. she's like not a good person, but she has a lot of good skills.
Like if she was a realtor and she sold homes.
So you think all realtors just lie to people?
No, I'm just saying that she could use her skill set in a way that isn't.
Yes, but you're forgetting that wouldn't be funny. And immediately they just have like a very nice dynamic of like her like saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and then Chidi just being like, that's crazy. You're crazy.
And there's something about like I don't think I can think of a single other television show that had an ethics philosophy professor as one of the main characters. There's something about him being that, and then having to deal with her who's just constantly like being unethical her whole life.
Oh yes, and then we go to like one of the iconic parts of The Good Place, which is the yogurt shop.
So it's yogurt, but each yogurt is spelled slightly differently.
Because I spell yogurt like that. I see people doing it with an H between the G and the U, which I just think is unnecessary. And then this third one, I think they just made up.
It's yogurt with there's an E at the end with a random tilde above the E.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the H. Both of them are equally unnecessary. And they're sitting in front.
And I would imagine if you're in The Good Place, then you always get the perfect seat that you want to sit in, no matter what. It's never crowded.
So Chidi thinks it's like a test that she should tell him the truth, which is a little bit kind of like foreshadowing, because later on they do introduce a concept of like having this be a test, but at this point it's not like what's actually happening.
So then what would happen if she did go to Michael and say, oh, I'm not supposed to be here?
Well, that's the problem. She does that later and it derails all the plans.
Everything.